Welcome to my career driven Get Sexy blueprint. Now, this is the model for becoming the best, healthiest, happiest, and sexiest version of yourself. And if that feels like somebody you want to become, then you better stick around. Now, in this video, I'm going to pull back the curtains. I'm going to show you exactly how to get in shape in at least 6 months using my Get Sexy blueprint. And you don't have to rely on long gym sessions, unreliable PTs, and diet fads either. But firstly, a little bit about who I am. My name is obviously Reshma. I am approaching my late 20s. I'm almost 30 now, and I'm thinking a little bit more about my health longer term as well. And a lot of the girls I coach are also in that kind of similar category. So I've been a coach for around 4 years now. I started during the lockdown, during the pandemic, home workouts, and mainly I started on social media, on Instagram. And now I am a full time health and fitness coach, helping you girls reach your goals, build your glutes, all of that stuff as well. But I live in the UK, I live near London, I have two sisters. And I also got a degree in human resources in HR, which I sometimes still dabble into that world as I work for I have worked for a health and fitness brand, so I've been in that industry in that environment for a long time. But now we do have a career change, and from kind of an HR degree, we are now a full-time health and fitness coach. So there's a little bit about me. I've always been into health and fitness since I was probably 17, 18. I joined the gym for the first time, didn't have a clue what I was doing. And it took me a very long time to get where I am, but it doesn't have to take you that long at all. Now, just so we don't waste too much time, this video is only for busy, career-driven women between the ages of 25 to 45 who are ready to be dedicated and hardworking. So I don't want to waste your time. I don't want you to waste my time. If you're not a career-driven woman, maybe you're too busy, or maybe it's just not the right time to commit to change, then feel free to click off this video and maybe watch all my other useful content on Instagram and YouTube. And if you do find yourself in a place where you are ready to commit and you're ready to kind of invest and have a chat, then you can always come back here. Now, you've most likely tried a PT, maybe fad diets, maybe even a coach already, and it just didn't go very well for you. But that's totally okay. Most people went through a very similar thing. I've been through my fair share of fad diets and bad coaches as well. So I totally understand where you're coming from. Now, a little bit about my background in terms of health and fitness. Now, this is me in the club toilets, probably in 2016. I was always on the small, slim side, but I had a little bit of kind of fat around my body and very, very little muscle. So I was just kind of skinny fat. Used to go out all the time. I didn't really care what I was eating. Obviously, when you're going out all the time, you're eating rubbish all the time. I had no structure or routine when I was at uni as well. I would go to sleep at 5, 6 in the morning. Even if I didn't even go out, I would just have a very unproductive and unpredictable kind of bedtime routine. I was always tired. I would always have to have coffees because I didn't have a suitable bedtime, waking up time. And I was very weak. I had no muscle, I had no strength. And you can't tell in this picture because I am all makeup and I used to wear a lot of makeup, but I had really, really bad skin. I had acne, I had breakouts, I would wear loads of makeup to cover it up. And that is a little bit about me. But the main reason why kind of fad diets never work is because they focus on the extreme methods. And again, we've all been through the extreme methods. They don't teach you long-term habits and they can be detrimental to your health. But here in my blueprint, on my program, we operate quite differently because we focus on long-term healthier habits, creating consistent methods, and cutting out all the noise and the BS. There's so much stuff online these days, and sometimes it's nice just to streamline everything and learn about what you really need for your goals. Now, you're probably thinking that it's impossible to lose fat and get in shape and grow your glutes without a PT or without somebody actually training me in person. But to be really honest, most people, including myself, we all thought that as well. But the beauty in online coaching is it's so much more flexible and you usually get so much more from it. So before we dive straight into the value of what I do in online coaching and my actual blueprint, I just want to show you that you can actually get in shape without having to deal with a PT or somebody in person or fad diets. And you don't have to be that old version of yourself. And here is exactly why. So, this is one of my clients. This is Monica. She is in her early 30s and she's a tattoo artist who is based in Philadelphia, USA. Now, she's always been quite unhappy being underweight. She was very underweight, very skinny. She knew she needed to put on a little bit of muscle, put on a little bit of weight, but she didn't want to just get fat in the process. Her main goal was also building a booty in the process, and that is just what we did. So we gained a nice, healthy 7 kilograms of weight in the form of muscle, trying to minimize fat as much as we can. And she started in January, and now we are still working together. It is June as of this recording, and that progress picture is actually a 10 to 12 week progress picture. So sometimes we have wobbles, but she gained a booty, she gained a healthy 7 kilograms. Now, this is my client X, as we like to call her. And she's also from USA. She's in her mid 20s, mid to late 20s, and she's a nurse. Now, she was always very unhappy with her body, but also her mental health as well. And she had goals of building muscle, building glutes, but she did also want to lose some fat as well. So we had both goals. However, we focused on losing a little bit of fat first. And when she was at a place where she was happy, she still wanted to keep her curves, we started focusing on building muscle and building a little bit of strength, building the glutes especially. And we did just that. We built the glutes are looking good, we minimized fat. And she again used the Get Sexy Blueprint for at least a year, which is why we were able to do fat loss first in a nice, slow, and healthy way. And then we were able to work on glute gains. Now, this is myself, and I'm in my late 20s right now, but I have started from since I was probably 20 years old. So it's been about 8, 9 years. I was very unhappy with being small and skinny and being very skinny fat. And I focused on weight training as my main form of training and eating more as well. Definitely eating more than I was, definitely eating more protein and just trying to get a little bit stronger. Now, I lost a lot of that kind of stubborn fat. My stomach definitely leaned out. At one point, I had, hardly any fat there. I had abs, and I built my muscle. I was more into building glutes, building muscle, building healthy legs. And again, I used my own Get Sexy blueprint, and that is why I've developed it for all of you girls. Now, the problem that you're probably facing right now in your current method is you just don't have the model and you don't have the system that the girls that I've coached have. And also, you're going it alone. It's very hard to do things on your own, especially if you don't have a community and you don't have someone to guide you and keep you accountable. And you also have no structure when it comes to your programs. Now, the career driven Get Sexy Blueprint is four kind of main fundamentals, but mainly it's a no BS process. It's very simple, it's very effective. We get rid of all of the health and fitness jargon and we streamline it so you can actually understand what you're doing and what you're supposed to be doing in the health and fitness world and getting your results. Now we focus more on habit building focuses and building those kind of habitual goals. And I have helped over hundreds of women in my 4 years so far. Now, there's three main pillars to my blueprint: strength training, intuitively eating, and long term habit based mindset and goal setting. Those are my three most important part of my blueprint, and it's three things that is 100% going to get you your goals. Now, first pillar is our strength training method. Now, all of my workouts and the way I kind of coach when it comes to fitness and exercise is we focus on strength or weight training. That is simply using your body weight, whether you want to work out from home or the gym. Doesn't mean going heavier. It just means building strength in your body and your muscles. Now, you don't need to be doing hours and hours of this. My sessions and my programs are either 30 minutes or 60 minutes long. And we also focus on a step goal as well, which is really, really important. Now, the second pillar is intuitively eating. So, the flexible nutrition protocol. Now, we focus more on being smart about our food choices and intuitively eating by simply looking at our plate, making sure we're eating enough protein, making sure we're eating enough, and just flicking a switch in our head where we're trying to be a little bit more conscious about everything we are putting in our mouth. Now, we also focus a little bit on tracking calories. Some girls love it and some don't. Some start by not doing it. Some suddenly want to start working on tracking calories. We can do that if you want as well. And also, finally, the 80-20 approach to keep it enjoyable. This just means 80% of the time we are on our best behavior, and the 20% of the time, such as the weekends, we can learn and enjoy about being balanced and enjoying the foods that we love, basically, and we don't have to give up. And finally, my favorite one that makes a massive difference is the mindset and goal setting. So, this is really, really big. We set goals for all the new girls that come through my program. I sit down with them, we have a virtual chat, and we set 2 to 4 goals. Now, these are baby steps. I always call them your kind of stepping stones to your overarching goal. And we start working by building those daily habits, and those could be drinking more water, sleep, stress, managing those areas, and just building those long term sustainable goals, like simply turning up to the gym. So, if you are a busy professional woman and you want to get in shape in 3 to 6 months without having health and fitness take over your life, go ahead and book a call with me below where we'll go over where you currently are and where you need to get to. And if we are a good fit for each other, we can definitely get started. So we can talk about your goals, your challenges. I can see if I have a program for you, if I can help you. And if so, then we can get started as early as possible. Again, just to reiterate, this blueprint is only for professional, career driven women. So if you have your own business or a busy job, or you are career driven, and your career is popping, you're doing well in that area, or maybe you want to do better in that area, then this program is for you, especially if you want to get better at all aspects of your life, right? And if you want to get into shape, if you want to lose some fat, build muscle, build some glutes, but also really prioritize your long term health. So if you're not that and that doesn't sound like you, then definitely go and watch more of my content, get some value from my YouTube, from my Instagram. And if you find yourself in this position, or you've changed your mind, or it is the right time, then we can get straight into action. So there are 2 directions that we can go from here. And we have 2 options. Number one, you can take all the information that I gave you in this video and try it out yourself. So I mentioned the 3 pillars. You can watch it again. You can go, you can streamline, you can try it yourself if you are self-motivated. and you're trying to kind of do this all on your own. You can test what works, what fails. If it doesn't work, you can see what's good. However, option two is we can hop on a call, a simple call. We can discuss how we can literally shortcut all of the trial and error, save you time, and we can give you exactly what you need based on what you've tried before and what you've tested before in the past. So it will be completely customized to your needs. So you can get the results in 3 to 6 months' time instead of spending years and years and years trying to figure out and trial and error by yourself. So if that sounds good, and that sounds like you, and you're 100% sure that you want to take option two, you want to cut out all the BS, you want to shortcut years of trying, and you want to get results easier and faster, then definitely go ahead, book a call with me below, and we can literally just start talking about your goals. So, again, if you never want to worry about ever working with a PT or it being too expensive or not having the time, just like how the girls I coach went from being unhappy, confused, overweight, or underweight on their journey, and they actually got into shape. We built those stubborn glutes, we put on the weight. Then the link is below if you also want to look and feel like them. And I look forward to seeing you there.